At the end of the day, when you're done working, it's important to follow correct procedure for closing your gas lines as well. Failing to properly shut your lines and evacuate any excess gas out of the line results in a gas line with pressurized fuel inside of it just waiting to pop. You don't want to do that, so make sure you follow procedure. Again, that instruction is written on the wall next to the oxygen tanks. And we have shutdown procedures listed on the main work table as well. First step is clean up your workstation. Fire polish any sharp pieces of glass before putting away in the appropriate bins. Replace your tools into the tool kit and clean up your space. So at the end of the day, once you have cleaned up your station, come on over to the oxygen tanks and you can follow procedure for closing the tank and bleeding the lines. We'll go over that briefly now as well. So my first step will be to close the shutoff valve on red propane line above table. Remember, the propane's coming in at a predetermined pressure from the street lines. We are not pressurizing the gas in this studio, so simply close the valve above the table. Shut. Now walk back to the oxygen tanks, and what we'll do is close off the oxygen supply. First, by shutting the main valve at the tank. Step 2, close the oxygen tank by turning the main valve clockwise. Again, turn it all the way until it stops turning. Once the tank is shut, you should notice neither valves, neither needles in the gauges will move. That's because even though the tank is shut, there is still fuel all the way in the line and it is still at pressure. That's good. That's what we want. Before proceeding, we must first evacuate all the extra oxygen out of the line. To do that, walk back over to your torch. And remember now, the main oxygen tank is shut. Pressure is still engaged, and our oxygen lines, our shutoff valves, are still open. Open your oxygen knob, and you'll hear a hissing. What's happening is all the excess gas in the line is now coming out. We are bleeding the gas out of the line. Remember, we shut our propane valve already, and you can do the same with your propane knob. You won't hear the propane escape, but it is coming out of the line. Remember to close your knobs. And now, we can walk back to the oxygen tank and unengage that pressure dial so that the next person to come into the studio does not risk opening gas into a pressurized line. Now that the fuel has escaped, you'll see the gauges read 0. Just turn it until it wiggles slightly, just like before. And again, that instruction is written here on the wall. Last step is close all red shutoff valves. Above the main oxygen tank, the 2 valves above the work table, and of course below our torch at our individual stations.